Welcome to the city of Markham. My name is Michael Taylor. I'm the media director, and today we're going to be sitting down with Bree Hampton. She is the First Ward Alderwoman. Bree, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
How are you doing today?
Great, fantastic. No complaints, no problems. Just happy to be here to share information with our city.
Now, Bree, I want you to tell our audience about how you became an alderwoman. What was your path? What was your journey like?
Number one, I will say this here. I love my city.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, it didn't matter what path or how long it took me or what the journey was. I just knew that in my spirit and in my heart that I wanted to sit in this particular seat. The journey was actually to try to make sure that I communicate with my citizens or the residents of my ward, not so much to convince them that I was the right person, but just to show them my passion and my goals for the city of Markham, and making sure that I can kind of stay on the same path with Mayor Akpaw's vision as well.
Now, you said you love the city of Markham, right?
I do.
What
yes.
are some of the things that stand out? Why do you love this city so much?
I've been a resident of Markham for 51 years.
51 years.
51. My parents moved out in Markham in 1968.
Okay.
Raised my children, met my husband on the same block.
Wow.
Our parents stayed on the same block, married my high school sweetheart.
So you know just about everybody in the city of Markham.
Just about everybody, and purchased a home in Markham as well.
So your life has
been around.
So what do you like? Is it the people? Is it the environment? What make
all of them?
Tell me about it.
Everything. And in reference to the people, we have history.
Okay.
When we sit back and speak to individuals that have grew up in Markham, that have grown up in Markham, we have the same vision, we have the same passion because of longevity in our community. We have pillars in our community that actually are still among us.
Right.
Our parents and some of the great grandparents.
It's
a cohesiveness community.
So it's close-knit community.
Absolutely it is.
Is it a community where you know everybody on the block, and if you took a walk down the block, right, in your ward, how many people would just wave and say, "There's Alderwoman Hampton"?
I would say quite a few. Now, some might not say Alderwoman Hampton.
Okay, what would they say?
Some would say Bree.
They would say Bree.
Or Brene.
Okay.
Or Hampton. Because that's what they know me know me as. I'm not so much worried about a title. I think more of the relationship that I have with the residents, and not only just in Ward 1, but in 2, 3, and 4, all over the city of Markham. So if I was to actually, let's just take a prime example. Let's just take my block.
Okay.
I live on one of the smaller blocks, so my block might consist of approximately 20 homes.
Okay.
25 homes. On my block alone, everyone on my block know me.
Everybody knows.
Yes, even the newer neighbors that moved in. Not so much the residents that actually been there for a long period of time, but I try to make sure I get out and I introduce myself. I think it's important that I introduce myself, especially when it comes to individuals moving into our community. They need to know who is who. Right. Whom can I call? Who can I speak to? If I have a concern, who can I address that concern to? I remember when I was a little young girl, and I'll address that next question. But I remember when I was a young girl, when I moved into our community, they bought my parents a booklet. And in this booklet, it had all the information. It had all the information in it. We're doing that again. I think it's important that when you move into a community, you need to know who is who. You need to know where's their police department number, where is they located at, who is my representative in my ward, who can I call. So I make it my professional business to go out and introduce myself to them as well. Give them my card and say, hey, if you have any issues, I want you to give me a call. Any concerns, I want to address anything. If you want to know about Markham, informational wise, here's my card, please give me a call. And then not only that, and I'm going to give it right back to you, Michael, but not only that, it's important that they understand what an alderman's position is. And I explained that to them, what an alderman position is. You know, I'm here on your behalf to speak, whatever your concerns are, address those concerns to me. And then I take that information and I take it back to the city of Markham, and I put that information in the correct departments, and I'm going to come back with you with an answer. So I guess I'm liaison for the city Ward 1. And anywhere, anyone, if they know who I am and they have a question. It doesn't matter if it's in Ward 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anywhere in the city of Markham.
Now, when you talk about that, you got a big senior population in your ward, right?
Yes.
Now,
yes, I do.
Those seniors rely on you, don't they?
Yes.
Because when you're talking about this time of the year, you've got lawns that need to be cut, you got public works that needs to go out to do things. Tell me about that part of it. How do you connect with the seniors?
That's a very good question. At this particular time, I think we're doing very well in reference to communicating with our seniors, making sure that our seniors are getting their lawns cut. I think the city of Markham has a great team at this particular moment in that particular department to make sure they can spearhead that information to the individual companies that we actually have involved.
You got 44. You got 44 lawns, right?
Approximately 44, 45 lawns. Might be close to 50.
That need to be cut on a weekly basis?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, though?
Once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
We make sure they get their lawns cut once every 2 weeks. And I have to honestly say, at this particular time, it has been going off like clockwork.
Okay.
I don't think there's one senior citizen in my ward, or probably I'm praying across the city of Markham, that have not had their lawn cut, and now it's more on a consistent basis once every 2 weeks. And you have to remember too, at the very beginning we had a lot of rain, so
right, that's right.
So the lawn was pretty tall, but we had to wait till it dry. But now that we're in this spell now of dry season, I don't think there's not one individual that has not had their lawn cut and is not being maintained correctly on every 2 weeks. So I appreciate that very much.
Now, what's the thing you love the most about being an alderwoman? What stands out? Is it being a servant, an advocate for the people?
Yes.
What do you like? Tell me about that.
I love being a servant.
Okay.
That's a good way of placing it.
That's a good way, isn't it?
I appreciate
You
that.
like
Yeah,
that, don't you?
I'm a servant, and I truly am. I'm a servant. It's not about Bree. It's about what can Bree do to help the city of Markham to move forward into our future. And I'm so elated about that because I'm curious myself. I'm not so much curious, but I'm excited to see the changes that are taking place. Public Works is truly involved in what we're doing at this particular time. I believe Public Works is under good leadership at this time. We're getting these easements and stuff cut down. And we have to remember this, and this is what I state all the time, is that the easements didn't grow up just in 1 year.
Right.
These easements grew up into a forest over years.
Right.
So now that we have a new administration, we have new people in place, we're revamping our city, and we now have a regimen on exactly how we're tackling the problems that the majority of the residents actually bring to my attention. And the majority of things they bring to my attention is the easements, is the grass cutting, the easements, the grass cutting. I'm just trying to think of the most important ones. We get a lot of calls for those too. Yeah, those are the main ones at the present moment in reference to the beautification.
Okay.
For Markham beautification.
Okay.
Those
now,
are the main
let me switch gears for a quick second. You had a 4th of July fireworks event, right? Tell me about that. That happened last week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me say this from the start. It was awesome. It was great. Basically what we tried to do, and each time you do something new, you can always tweak it.
Right.
So it has to be tweaked a little bit. But this year, what we tried to do is eliminate the residents of actually shooting fireworks, which was unhealthy and hazardous, to try to make sure that we can have them come out and just actually enjoy a fireworks
so
show.
instead of all the people having smaller fireworks, have one big event together.
Absolutely, because we already know statistically wise there has been ambulance calls because of unsafe handling of the fireworks. So now that we have an individual who actually is qualified to perform the fireworks show, we're trying to make sure moving forward for next year that they don't have to do that. Don't spend your money. Don't take a chance of actually injuring yourself.
Right.
Wait till the 4th of July and come out and see a spectacular show. But I will share this with you as well. It was amazing how the cohesiveness of Ward 1 came together, where there were individuals who actually shot fireworks on their own is now going to actually come into one big group with the individual who did the fireworks show,
right,
and say, hey, listen, we can make it even bigger and better next year because we're going to all join together and put the fireworks show on. So instead of being 20 minutes, it might be an hour.
It might be an hour.
It might be an hour next year.
Now, you got a community, I guess a community event coming up in a few weeks, right? It's like a town hall kind of meeting?
Yes.
What's that about?
Yeah, basically, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's on the 21st, I think it's the 21st or 25th,
Okay.
On a Saturday. Basically what it is, a lot of the constituents or the residents in my ward need to have answers in reference to our policing,
Just
in
to
reference
kind of,
to,
yeah,
just
right,
basically get an update,
okay,
or just get more answers. And of course, that's what my job is, to make sure that the individuals who need to who has those answers are available to answer
now,
them.
the mayor's going to be there, right?
Yes, the mayor is going to be there, and also Chief White of the police department will be there as well.
Okay.
And it might be one or two others, I'm not quite for sure just at this moment. But yes, so it's just going to be a small little meeting. Of course, we still got the, COVID-19,
right,
so we can't have over 50 individuals, but definitely
a nice intimate group, right?
Nice intimate group, just to answer some questions some concerns. Address some concerns and just see about how we want to move along in the future. And then of course we always welcome them to give us their opinion on what they would like to see.
Different things like that.
Absolutely.
You know what? We're going to have some fun. You ready?
Ready.
We're going to play a word game.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to tell me what that word means to you.
Okay.
Leadership. What pops in your mind when I say leadership?
Confidence. Reason why I say confidence is I feel if you are in a leadership role, you have to be confident in that role and be able to actually respond to the call.
Right.
You have to stand up and accept the good with the bad, and try to make sure you keep your eye on the prize and keep moving forward. So I would say confidence.
Community.
Love. Reason why I say that, I guess because I just have such long history here.
Yeah.
And I just want individuals who actually move into our community to understand the historicness of our city, on how we want to embrace everyone into our community. But while we're embracing you, you have to embrace us back. You have to embrace us back.
I like
so I would say, yeah.
Amazon.
Jobs.
You need not
Which is
say
awesome. I think we needed that in our community.
Yes.
I thank our leadership for actually continuing to pursue that. There's individuals. Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. Monday, I was in my ward Monday, and I'm always stopping to talk to young men and women.
Okay.
And I was on a particular street, and I stopped to talk to these young men and women. Come to find out, it was four gentlemen and one lady.
Okay.
Two of the gentlemen work at the Amazon in Monique. They are so excited because they want to transfer to the Amazon
they
here
wanna be
because
close
they're in their right back in their backyard.
Bree, I never thought about
Backyard, and this way they don't have to, because some of them have to Uber. They Uber to work.
Okay.
This way they can actually walk to work. And so it's right here in our own backyard. So I think it's important that we try to make sure that we get the information out, that we share this information about Amazon that's coming. And I don't know, I might be a little off point here, but I think I really need to share this. That's why we're in the process of making sure that we can get our citizens job ready.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to
How do we
hold
do
classes.
that? How do we get them job ready?
I'm getting ready to hold classes for our CDLs. We're going to hold classes for forklifting. We're going to hold classes for interviewing. So I want to make sure that when that door opens,
we ready to run in there.
we're ready to run in there.
And you have a background in this, getting
Yes.
people ready, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Transportation, distributions, and logistics.
You
That's me.
You teach these classes.
I teach that class. Yes, absolutely. I've been in that field now since 1984. I was a driver myself. Started off as
CDL.
a driver, CDL driver,
Okay.
tractor trailers.
Okay.
Started off in 1984. I do feel I am one of the female pioneers
Okay.
in that particular field, because in the 80s, you seen husband and wife teams, and you seen other ethnicities out there, but never really did you see too many single black females.
Wow.
So over the years, just to bring us a little bit further up to where we are now, over the years, I had driven, and I end up helped starting up a new transportation company, public transportation company in Las Vegas, which actually imaged the City of Chicago, CTA transportation. So I had an opportunity to do that. And then I ended up becoming an entrepreneur, still an entrepreneur, have my sons as entrepreneurs, and just keep my door open to any individual, be it male or female, doesn't matter.
Get
And it
everybody
really
ready.
doesn't even matter what the race is.
Right.
To come aboard and say, listen, you know what? There's money in this field.
Take care of your family.
And
Yeah.
to be financially secure. And that's the goal. And if we really look at the logistics part of it right now, with the COVID-19, it was all about transportation.
That's right.
We had to make sure more food got to particular stores.
That's right.
Because we were essentials. So we had to make sure that these individual stores are still well stocked, because as you know as well as I do, they were in there just buying up everything.
I know, because I couldn't get my food. I couldn't get my meat that I like.
I couldn't get no hand sanitizer.
That's right. I want the meat though. You take the hand sanitizer.
Yeah. I'm not really a big meat eater, so I can. That's a good trade off for me, because I'm not really a big meat eater. Some people might. Well, I'm not. I don't.
Come on, Bree.
But getting back on it, I think it's an excellent field for the individual.
You
to get
excited,
involved.
aren't you? You pumped up.
I am. I really
You
am.
pumped
So
up for
yes.
this,
So I'm working with the mayor on how we can move forward and preparing, especially our younger generation, prepare them and get ready for this big opening that's going to take place, which is going to have over 1,000-something jobs.
Well, let me ask you this question. When you think about the city of Markham, kind of tell me some of how you envision it, as you and the city council, and of course our leader, the mayor, as we work through what we want the city to look like. What do you think in your mind if you had a wish list? What are some of the things that would be on your wish list?
Number one, the city of Markham have to have a new vision.
Okay.
When I say that is, now that we have Amazon that's coming in,
Right.
we need to make sure we have businesses that's going to complement.
Like what kind of
Amazon.
business could complement Amazon?
We need restaurants.
Oh, okay.
We need not so much more trucking companies or whatever, because I really feel that we're well balanced with that. But we need more restaurants. We need better fuel stations that can actually service individuals as well, not just gas and and a cupcake. You know, that might be able to service them with their coffee and you know, just a well-rounded, more futuristic fuel stations that we need to have in our community as well. We also need more clothing stores. We need more retail stores. We need more grocery stores.
But don't you think that'll happen as the jobs, 1,000 new jobs, economic boom? Don't you think some of those things are going to kind of fall in place?
Yes, they should fall in place. But one thing that I'm really keeping my eye on is the residential homes. Okay. Because if an individual is actually working, prime example, at this Amazon or whatever, a lot of times they want to work kind of close to their job. I want the city of Markham to be in a position where we are that we're in a position where they can afford a home in Markham. We have, I think Markham is a very well balanced community. We have some of the best of schools.
Okay.
We have excellent libraries. Now what we have to really gauge ourselves on is our residential homes.
You mean building some new homes, maybe?
Building some new homes, or even the homes that are actually here, the existing homes, to bring them up to a point where the individuals can afford it to move into them. Because when you really think about Markham, Markham is really a community where you can get your first step as a homeowner.
Okay.
When our parents moved to Markham, Markham had affordable homes. We had good schools. We had libraries. We had churches. It was a well-balanced community. We had department stores. We had grocery stores. That's where we need to go back to. Okay. Because there are a lot of young couples that are in their 30s and late 20s or whatever that want to be a homeowner, want to bring their children into a community where it's safe, want to bring their children into a good school system, a good library system, and still have the opportunity to shop within their community. So the home base, as far as price-wise, it's economically feasible.
Right.
They can reach that. It's tangible. So we want to make sure that we can get the homes in Markham at that particular point where they are now for sale. And I want to sit back and say, wow, that reminds me when my parents bought a home. Wow. That reminded me when I purchased my home. Now here just the third generation or fourth generation can purchase a home in Markham and raise their children. That's the type of community, and that's my dream. That's the type of community we have. Wow. That's what it's about. Everybody can't move to Orland Park. Everybody can't move to Homewood Flossmoor. But you can definitely move to Markham because it's affordable homes. And it's a well-balanced city. We have good schools. We have good libraries. We have shopping centers. So now that Amazon is coming in here, we have to revamp and look at the big picture now. So we have to make sure we bring in businesses that's going to complement what our goal is and what we want our city to look like for the future.
Folks, there you have it. I'm here with Alderwoman Bree Hampton. And of course, she is on fire for the city of Markham. As you can see, she's ready to do whatever she has to do to uplift Markham. And she's a warrior on the battlefield. And it's very exciting and energy. You can just feel the energy that she has for her community. Ms. Hampton, thanks for coming on the show.
I do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.